Okay, I had to swap out a battery and change some lighting. Now that it's fall, I feel like the sun is setting way fast, too fast. Okay, so there's that wallpaper, more Indian fabrics, fabric flip, altered paper clip that I made out of the Indian trim with pearl detailing and gold edging, and an authentic French document as well. This is 1872, I believe. Look how aged that is. Oh, okay. Talking faster. This is going to be the longest video ever, and I don't even know if I'll have time for music on it. Vintage book page. Just some of the cabinet work that you might see in the palaces of India and or France at the time, and some authentic ledger paper. This, I believe, is French. It's kind of weird. Sometimes I can't tell if I'm reading French or Italian or any other language anymore. It's all blending. A money envelope from India. This is actually from Natasha, your money envelope has a peacock feather. Did you do that on purpose? But I thought it looked really good with the journal. More vintage ledger. Oh, and this is some very antique and brittle embroidery paper from a magazine, French magazine. Mia, thank you. I'm still using all of the antique papers you've sent me, either in collaging or in some of my page layouts. But some of the lettering, L is at the W, M for Lady Mary, and there's a back. Then, just like in every journal I make, I do like to put in a slide of some of the fabric that I used. So that's that right there. And that's actually the train of the dress. A little sack of extra journal cards, receipts, and fabric trim from Catherine at frenchbilletdoux. 29.2 makes 31, Rue Cambon. For those of you that know, I am a Chanel fan. Okay, I made a little journal card from that leftover scrapbook paper I have. But look, the feathers reminded me of the peacock. So I thought it just really had to go with this. Some more ledger paper. Made you some stickers out of Mrs. Cogg's digitals, the elegant peacock digitals. Put that in there for you. Some more vintage ledger. Oops, fix that later. Playing card. A little bit of is that hydrangea? And some more trims from Nat Dashery that reminded me of very regal colors, and also kind of reminds me of the plumes of a peacock right there. So if you hold this up to the dress, you can almost imagine those feathers just going down the train of her skirt. There's that gold embroidery weave. Quite a few pages of the same French school tablet paper. Some more vintage ledger. Okay. Thank you. And then that beautiful trim. Again, I originally had this in mind for Kathy Hay so that she could do some sketching and documenting of the reconstruction of the peacock dress, So I put a lot of writing and journaling paper. In fact, you can probably tear it up and use it in some of your other journals. So I'm pretty sure this journal has over 360 pages or sides. Back of the avocado dyed paper. And then this is another page from the 1909 Ephemera magazine, and it had a picture of a royal couple on front. Not exactly Lady Mary Curzon, since she died young. She died in 1906, just 3 years after the ball. But I just thought they looked really good. And then I had some crown foils to decorate the page. On the back, I did glue a paper pocket, also from Heather's Digital, the Les Artistes pack. I think this is a vintage fabric design. It even has the notes on the fabric construction itself. And then inside the pocket I have a French, vintage French thank you card from Catherine. Catherine, I know this was meant for my cousin's new bride, but I stole one, just don't tell her, because it's too pretty. And it's blank for journaling, where you can use that as a thank you. I actually made vellum envelopes to go with this, so. And then some vintage tickets, also in pink. And then for this one, this was my all-time favorite print from Heather's Les Artistes pack. I printed it on the backside of a dual receipt, so it's that very frail, thin onion paper. I guess it's called receipt paper, so you can make copies, or dual copies. But it was the design for a future wallpaper, so you can see the grid lines there and some of the notes. And then I just accompanied another, I think you get 6 vintage playing cards in this journal. It's probably not Edwardian period. Maybe this might have been a Victorian period dress. It just looks a little more voluminous. There it is, King, in gold. Story about Champs-Élysées. Thought it was just really pretty. And then another altered paper clip to represent the rose trim along the bottom of the dress. Even though this isn't Parisian white silk, it is an Indian sari trim. So look at that gold embroidery. Indian sari trim. You might have seen this on my Cinderella altered book earlier or last year. I think it's my last piece. And then some die cuts from MaisieMadison. Almost there. Layout. This is from the New York Public Library, public domain, of the Peacock. Japanese paper, but I just thought went really well with it. And some handmade India paper. I love this. Okay, Heather, I guess this might also be your Les Artistes journal, but this was another digital print from that same pack. And this is, I think, the design of future fabrics, two types. The ones that I had painted earlier with some acrylic, I just printed onto an authentic British ledger paper from KaysVintageEphemera. So you'll see all the maths on the back. Did some collaging on the back, but I just wanted to see what this wallpaper or fabric design would look like on that fabric, and it looks really, really good, I think. And then there's another sticker from Mrs. KaysVintageEphemera's elegant Peacock digital. A bottle of perfume, also from the 1909 magazine. And we're coming towards the end, so these are just some little keepsakes of Lady Mary. And then this is a picture also from the public domain of her and I believe her 2 kids. So there's Lady Mary looking every day a mom. A little pocket with my little handmade stamp. A, what do you call this? Flashcard and a couple of labels. I think these labels might have come from Nikoneka in New York. Nikoneka's Zakukaya, is that how you pronounce it? I don't know, I'm really bad. A little bit of vintage French trim from Catherine, frenchbilletdoux. Is that NL? No, NH. So I just covered up some of the sewing on the back there. And then on the very back is my favorite Indian trim. It looks like the feathers of a peacock. So I put a peacock charm at the very back there. And that's my last piece, I think, of this one. And it's stitched onto some old vintage ledger paper, and I backed it with a crochet French pocket fabric, also from Hasbeencraft in France. And then I just made you a little booklet of some extra ledger scraps in the back. A little quote. Some handmade raised paper that came from Nikoneko Zakukaya in New York. Thought that would be a nice thank you card for someone. And then some cigarette order papers from an old cigarette order ledger pad that I have. just in case you still don't have enough journal room. And then this is the sack that Natasha put all of the trims in. So this is also from India, traditional Indian sack. There's some bits and bobs. And I put in a little piece of the Japanese paper that I had in there. And I'll be throwing in some more ephemera, just leftover pieces from constructing the journal. And there's the inside back, just lined it with Nepalese paper, and there's the fabric, floating spine fabric. I had to use my French muslin just because it was thick enough and strong enough to hold all these pages while allowing them to sit flat and hold the weight of the different trims. There's the back of the journal, all fabric. Just in case I didn't show you, the side is one big piece of Indian sari trim with pearl and rhinestone pieces. There's the front again. And I want to thank you for staying for over 40 minutes. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to speed up any of this. But again, you'll get the journal. And there's the dress. And a little bit of history about Durbar in 1903. And I made you a little trifold postcards with some of the pictures from the events and backed it with some ledger paper. So you can tear these apart and make them into little postcard journaling cards. And then, as a part of the thank you gift as well, I'm going to throw in these images. It's unofficial, it doesn't really go with the journal, but it is part of the history. So anyway, thank you, and I'll see you in my next journal flip through.